when a soldier or sailor chooses cash over country and hands over national defense information in an ultimate act of betrayal.
A San Diego sailor is accused of spying for China.
You're the coolest dog I've ever known.
This pup is still a good boy. What happened when the dog came across a burglar here in San Diego?
Stopping, getting to law. Oh, that was one of the best days.
It's Italian Heritage Night at Petco. See how a Padres player is reconnecting with his roots. Nothing but good news to share with you. It'll definitely be a hot weekend, but temperatures getting much more comfortable. Keep it here at 6 a.m. on Friday, August 4th, and you're up with CBS 8.
So we are following some breaking news out of Carlsbad, where officers are on the scene of a standoff with a possible armed suspect. This is a live picture from the scene. This started around 7 last night in the 2700 block of Loker Avenue West. This is right off Palomar Airport Road. Now, at this time, we do not know what prompted the standoff. We're still working to gather that information, but what we do know is that the street is blocked off. You see the road closed sign there, so please avoid the area. We are working to gather more information, and we'll provide an update as soon as we learn more. Meantime, we want to get you over to our top story. 2 active duty Navy sailors are facing federal charges this morning. They're accused of selling sensitive national defense information to China. Thanks for joining us. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol in for Netta and Eric. Now, all eyes are on this story right now. One of those sailors were actually stationed here in San Diego. CBS 8's Chris Groh. He's live in our studio right now to break down exactly what we know about this investigation. There was a press conference yesterday. A lot of worrying information released about this. Hard to believe that someone right here in San Diego was committing these acts of espionage.
Yeah, and accused of having done this just about as soon as a couple days ago, right. Really, too, as well, and then arrested at U.S. Naval Base San Diego. So the sailor out of San Diego pleaded not guilty. He's accused of sending classified material to the Chinese from just days ago, but started back in March of 2022, so just last year. Now, there's also another sailor out of Ventura County who was charged with similar crimes, and prosecutors do believe that the Chinese were definitely connected in terms of trying to pursue sensitive information using sailors.
They're related because they reflect the overall effort and the malign activities of the PRC when it comes to threatening our national security.
Now, Patrick Way worked as a machinist. You can see him in that courtroom sketch there. Worked as a machinist on board the USS Essex. According to U.S. attorneys, Way had a security clearance and sent classified material to a Chinese intelligence officer. Way may have been paid anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. While all this was going on, he was actually working to become a U.S. citizen. Now, according to prosecutors, he told another sailor he was being recruited for what he knew was, quote, obviously espionage. As for the other case, Second Petty Officer Thomas Zhao is accused of accepting $15,000 in bribes from a Chinese handler. He worked at Naval Base Ventura County. Now, Way faces life in prison if convicted, and Zhao faces 20 years in prison if convicted. Back to you guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. This morning, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria's Housing Action Package 2.0 has the green light from the city's planning commission, except for one key part. The commission voted 6-0 in favor of the package, but against Senate Bill 10. The statewide bill allows multifamily buildings to replace single-family homes if they're near public transit. The commission's vote means the city council will not consider SB 10. The city's housing package does bring 10 new housing policies into play, like protections for existing affordable housing.
And this morning, neighbors in the Emerald Hills community say they are unhappy with the proposed overnight safe parking site near an elementary school. Now, under the proposal, about 120 parking spots would be available for unhoused people to sleep in their cars overnight. This is happening, or potentially happening, at the Malcolm X Library parking lot. Now a campaign called Hands Off Malcolm X has launched to block that proposal.
We will absolutely not stand for Malcolm X Library being used as a safe camping site for unsheltered individuals.
Right now, there are 4 existing safe sleeping sites run by the city of San Diego. In June, the city's Homelessness and Solution Strategies Department proposed 9 more sites throughout the city.
Former President Donald Trump is pleading not guilty to charges accusing him of plotting to overturn the 2020 presidential election. He was arraigned yesterday and called it, quote, a sad day in America. Nicole D'Antonio has more on how the day unfolded and what's expected next.
Former President Trump is back at his New Jersey golf club after a third historic arraignment. In a Washington courtroom Thursday, Trump entered a not guilty plea to 4 federal charges accusing him of trying to overturn the 2020 election results in the latest case brought by special counsel Jack Smith.
When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent.
Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom as the former president appeared before a magistrate judge. The defense and prosecutors agreed to allow Trump's release pending trial under the conditions that he cannot violate federal law and must appear as required. He is also not allowed to communicate about the facts of the case to anyone he knows to be a witness, except through lawyers. Trump is not required to attend the next hearing, which is scheduled for August 28th. At that time, the judge could set a trial date. The special counsel has said he wants a speedy trial. Demonstrators gathered outside the courthouse as the events unfolded.
I believe that President Trump is completely innocent of all the charges.
I think he should be held accountable.
The former president also faces state charges in New York as well as more federal charges in Florida in the special counsel's classified documents probe. A charging decision is expected soon in Fulton County, Georgia, in their investigation into efforts to overturn the election results. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Across the country, including right here at home, supporters and opponents of former President Donald Trump had strong reactions to yesterday's arraignment. Dozens of San Diegans gathered in Balboa Park with a very clear message that no one is above the law. However, Trump supporters are echoing that his legal defense team was exercising his freedom of speech.
He was expressing his opinion that this past election had many flaws in it, and I agree. It was the most flawed election in my lifetime.
Well, there's limits to free speech where it becomes dangerous and causes harm to others. You know, you could say what you want, you could lie, but once it becomes something that endangers other people, it's not okay.
While the prosecution is seeking a speedy trial, Trump's legal team has indicated they will seek delays as Trump now faces charges in 3 separate cases. Both sides are expected back in court on August 28th.
And this morning, a man accused of working as an enforcer for a Mexican drug cartel in San Diego, Edgar Herrera Pardo, is now facing federal drug trafficking charges. He's accused of committing rampant violence in Tijuana on part of the Jalisco drug cartel. This was all to help push large quantities of illicit drugs into the U.S. He was arrested in Mexico back in 2019 after being indicted for his alleged role in the group of cartel enforcers. Now the U.S. Attorney's Office links more than 150 murderers to that group.
Because you're so cool. Come here. Because you're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not his dog. Police say that's a burglar who stopped to pet a golden retriever while stealing an e-bike from this home. It happened in Pacific Beach last month. The burglar doesn't even keep his voice down while trying to play with the dog, but still got away with the bike. If you have any information, contact the San Diego Police Department. And in case you are looking for something to do today, national parks across the U.S. are offering free entry fees.
I love free. That includes Cabrillo National Monument here in San Diego. It's a celebration of the 3rd anniversary of the Great American Outdoors Act. Free park entry does not include camping fees. The Park Service is also offering free days on September 23rd for National Public Lands Day and November 11th for Veterans Day. So much, like, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to get away. I want to go take a vacation. And then sometimes it's like, wow, we have so many wonderful things right in our own backyard.
Yeah. It is so fun to be a tourist in San Diego and
in your own town.
Yeah, truly though, there's so much to explore. Born and raised here and still haven't seen it all, no doubt about it. So if you are going to get out this weekend, it's going to be so beautiful. It'll be warm, no doubt about it, even hot, but really just so great. And it's been going to be a little bit cooler than we've been seeing. Live look outside showing, it was showing that that marine layer. Again, we're going to start with cloud coverage, and it's going to burn off more quickly though. Nothing but good news for you on this Friday. Cooler temperatures, less humidity, and that marine layer will burn off earlier than it has been. Current temperatures right now are cool, nice and comfortable to start the day. 63 degrees right now in Encinitas, 66 downtown San Diego, 65 in the South Bay, Ramona right now at 57. And you'll see big swings. Again, we're very cool right now and then Ramona is even going to surpass 90 degrees. So again, big swings from morning to midday. Over the next 12 hours, as promised, things will continue to warm up. We are starting the day out with that cloud coverage. It's been stubborn and taking a little bit of time to burn off recently, but it'll happen more quickly over the next couple of days. We're talking maybe even around 11, 12 o'clock. Here are the forecast highs for today. Again, Ramona will get to around 91 degrees. The coast will be just absolutely beautiful. But again, cooler today, hotter this weekend, and then we'll cool back down next week. This 8-day microclimate forecast shows you just that. Again, really beautiful and comfortable conditions down into 65 degrees in the overnight hours. So really should be so nice. Hopefully you're able to get out to those parks, see what we have to offer, because it is beautiful. An excessive heat watch does remain in effect in the deserts until Monday. All right, let's take a look at traffic. Here's a look at the border wait times right from the CBP website. Currently 115 minutes for the general line at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, and then just 55 minutes for the general line at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. It's typically a little bit smoother in Otay. Back to you, ladies.
All right, thanks, Jenny. Still ahead, a possible sign the Hollywood writers' strike could end soon.
Yeah, plus scary video shows a car driving off a collapsed road. What led to this? Oh, that is terrifying. Plus, too good to be true. If you get something free in the mail that you do not order, it could be a scam. We're going to tell you what to watch out for.